What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As promised, I wanted to tell you guys the new vlogging rig that we would be getting pretty soon, and I want to talk about my choices and why I decided to go with this rig instead of other ones. So first off, Canon I do love 100%, but then again, I love Sony too. They both have their strengths, they both have their weaknesses. I personally like to shoot in a log format, and Sony has better log profiles than Canon, so that's one reason why I'm switching to Sony in the future. Canon doesn't have the best amp inside of the camera, so the microphone that I would be getting would actually benefit from this because it has a plus 20 decibels button on it, so I can turn down the in-audio gain, press that plus 20, and have essentially no background noise, no hiss, and have perfect audio. But then again, this works for any camera with the microphone I'll be showing you that I'll get. Canon has really good color science, I have to admit. I personally shoot in a CineStyle log profile. Going back to edit that in post, really easy. I literally have a universal, not a LUT, but a Lumetri color profile that I use on Adobe Premiere. And when I say it's universal, I've designed it to look good in the car, look good outside, pretty much anywhere we go. It's literally universal. Now I do have cinematic ones and I do have plenty of other ones that I use, but my day-to-day one that I use is a universal picture profile on Adobe Premiere. So that being said, I don't hate Canon, I don't hate Sony, you know, I'm 50-50 with them. Other cameras I can't really speak for because I haven't actually looked them up or, you know, gone in depth with them. This camera, which I currently use, is the Canon SL2 APS-C sensor, so a crop factor of 1.6, meaning any millimeter lens I get on it, I take the first number, multiply that by 1.6, and that's essentially what my lens really is. Let me explain the switch I'll be making and why I decided to go with these choices. So first off, I'm going to be switching to a Sony camera. I'll be going with the Sony a7R Mark III that has a 42.4 megapixel sensor on it. It is a full frame camera, meaning it does not have a crop factor. It is a 1.0. So I'm currently using an 18mm lens. If I put a crop factor of 1.6, that's about a 28-29mm lens. Whereas if you were to use an 18 on a full frame lens or full frame body, it would be 18 millimeters. Another cool thing about this one is it is a mirrorless, so literally it is this thin, not literally, but something around that. They're really thin cameras, they're really light, and that's really what you want in a camera, especially if you're going day-to-day vlogging. You don't want something that's going to be heavy. The SL2 actually has a smaller form factor than something like a 77, a 70D, 80D, something like that. This actually has just, it's a bit smaller, so it works out. So yeah, that's the camera I'm going to be switching to. It is an interchangeable lens camera. Lens choice, I'm going to be going with a Sony G Master 16 to 35mm lens. I've seen this on plenty of vlogs. It's perfect. It has a f2.8 to 22, so really shallow depth of field, which is really what you want. It's a $2,000 to $2,200 lens, but for what you're getting, G Master is pretty much top of the line. So though you cough up a lot of money, you're getting a quality product. To get pristine audio, which is actually going to be one of the first things I'll be getting so I can use on this camera as well, just so that's one thing I can knock off my list, is the Shure VP83 lens hopper camera mounted microphone. It's a shotgun condenser kind of microphone. The number one thing I really like about it that my Rode Video Micro doesn't have, because literally the Micro is a plug and play. The Shure has buttons on it where it has a -10 decibel or a +20 decibel. Really what you want to do with most cameras is turn down your in-audio gain and press that +20 so you don't have any background noise, no hiss or anything of that sort. Just to show you, I'm going to take off the audio filter that I have and show you what the background noise is. So that's essentially what you don't want. So this microphone literally eliminates that. I've seen plenty of videos on it. I could go with a $300 Rode mic plus whatever, It does the exact same thing. There are a bit more features, but I don't need those features. I mean, this literally is perfect for day-to-day vlogging. It's a smaller form factor than the Rode because the Rode microphone is like this long, like this wide. It's crazy. This one's a lot smaller, a lot easier. So this is what I want to roll with. I'll be getting a windjammer for it, and that's pretty much just a dead cat is what most people know it as, or a wind muff. I'll be upgrading the GorillaPod because I'm going to be giving my old one to Catherine, and I'm probably going to be giving this camera to Catherine, so when she starts her own channel, that's one less camera we have to buy. Unless we've got enough money, then I may get 2 of the Sony a7R Mark IIIs, just so we can both shoot 4K. More than likely, she's going to be on the go quite a bit, and she's going to be literally up and running. I'd rather her have this $700 rather than a $4,000 camera. To power all that, I'm going to be getting the Sony multi-battery adapter kit, which comes with 2 batteries meant for that camera. It is a Z series battery, so I'd rather get a charger that can charge multiple batteries up to 4. And the cool thing about this adapter is if, let's say, I'm live streaming or just for whatever reason need to record longer than an hour or 2 hours or something, this camera can actually produce power to the camera for that, amount of time before you have to charge the batteries. I will be shooting 4K, and the a7R Mark III I think is 5K downscale to 4K, so you're getting pristine quality and no hiccups. Especially with me, I want to start shooting an S-Log3 when I get that. So if you don't know what S-Log3 looks like, let me kind of throw up a sample picture, a sample video. It's very gray, very dull, but once you actually get inside of the post and you start messing with the colors, you can do a lot with it. And the reason you kind of want to shoot in log too is it brings up the shadows, brings down the highlights, things like that. So you can really get a lot out of your picture without having all the whites and the lights washed out and overexposed. It makes the overall image look way better. So while there are many options for an SD card, I'd rather stick with a Sony product because I know they're going to be 100% compatible and I don't want to mess anything up in the future. I lucked out with this SD card and it turns out to be really perfect. It's a 64 gigabyte. Since we are shooting 4K on this camera and it's 5K downscale to 4K, you're going to be using up a lot of memory. So the number one thing I like about the a7R Mark III is it has its dual SD slots, which means I can stuff 2 of these SD cards that I'm going to be getting, which are 2 128 gig. It's a UHS class 2 or UHS 2 class 10 series SSD. Not SSD, SD card. That's 2 128 gigs. That's pretty much 250 gigs of non-stop on-the-go footage, especially if you're shooting 4K. If any of you guys know what it's like, you use up memory pretty fast. And then there's just going to be little additives here and there for the lens hoods, things like that, like I said earlier. But this is the overall price of around $6,500 to $6,700. So again, let's go over everything and see what the prices are going to be in the end. So the a7R Mark III is currently $3,198, so $3,200. So we can see everything going on. We are going with the G Master 16 to 35mm lens, which is $2,200. Just to protect that and everything, we're going to be going with the Tiffen 82mm variable ND filter and the Ultra Pro 82mm tulip flower lens hood, which is $10. Oh, I didn't tell you guys the price of the filter. It is $128, so pretty much $130. So we can get some clean audio. We're going to be going with the Shure VP83 microphone, $200. Just to hold it all up, we're going to be going with a GorillaPod. This is one of their newer ones. This is $126. To keep all the wind noise away, we're going with a Shure A83 for a windjammer. It's meant for the VP83 and VP83F. Literally the exact same thing. $45. To power it, we're going with the Sony multi-battery adapter for the Z series, $398, and we will be getting two 128 gig SD cards. So this comes out to a grand total of $6,751.12. So $6,751.12. Let's just say I wanted to get Catherine one as well. So if I was to get everything doubled, it would, oh my gosh, it would come out to a grand total of $13,000 $104.24. But that's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. Let us know you enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe. Click the little bell on the right of the subscribe button so you can be notified anytime we upload a brand new video, especially with the YouTube sub boxes messing up or the subscriptions overall messing up. And we'll see you guys in tomorrow's daily vlog. Peace out.